And one of the things that I wanted is I wanted to be published in magazines. So that did end up happening. As you can see, this is, you know, looks like the intro because it is. Hey guys, it's Heather here, and I tried to film this video already and I'm like kind of frustrated right now. Today I'm going to be giving you a mini masterclass on achieving your goals. I'm very excited about this. I hope you are too, so let's get into it. I'm going to start off by talking about vision boards, and after that I'm going to be discussing some practical maneuvers that you can do after you set out your goals. Vision boards are kind of one of those things that people either love or they hate on them, and you know what? It's the creative aspect of going after your goals, okay? There's a difference between coming up with what you want and the practicality of it, and I think that's where people get confused and lost and all of this wishy-washiness. So today we're going to really be peeling back the layers so that you can not only really come up with what you want, but also execute it beautifully. So I'm going to start off by sharing some vision boards with you so you can get some ideas, but after that we're really going to dive more into depth. So one thing that I really want you to do before you even dive into creating a vision board or really creatively thinking about what you want to go after this year, I want you to actually start reviewing what you did in the past that you're proud of, that you did well. This is the step that I believe most of us are completely negating, and this is why we're not achieving our goals. We don't have the steam to go after our goals because we're not seeing the part of ourselves that's actually made progress and change. So I want you to stop and think before you start, start visualizing all the things that you want to achieve this year. I want you to take a step back, take a bird's eye view approach of where you're at in life, and take stock of what you've already done. What have you done so far that's right? I know that it's a little bit challenging right now and you may be going through a lot. Maybe it's been a very difficult past 2 to 5 years, or you've been going through a lot of different struggles. That's okay, but you need to find that warrior in you. You need to find that part of yourself that's a tiger that will get after it. So the only way to really start making change in your life is to identify that part of yourself that can make change, that is capable. Please take stock of where you're at. While you're on this page, I also want you, before you start cutting little pictures out on your board, I want you to think of the era that you're in your life. When I create a vision board, I don't go in there thinking about this is something that's necessarily all gonna happen in 1 year. In fact, I like to take this and think of it as something that happens in 2 to 3 years. You're setting yourself up for success. Things that you want that are really great take work. They take time and they take conscious effort. As much as I love, the whole manifesting community and all of this stuff, and I have found that to be true in my own life, you can't expect these really great things to all fall into your lap. That's not the way that reality works, okay? If there's one thing that I could say is you have to be patient and you have to put in the work, and you have to allow yourself to have time for these great things to happen. And I'll show you specific examples of this. But first, let's just get into this vision board that I did back in, this is my 2020 vision board, I believe. Actually, I think this is my 2021 vision board. Okay, so I know it's very materialistic, but the way that I was thinking about this when I was creating this board is specifically, okay, what can I do to enjoy life before I settle down and I get married and have children? So I really wanted to live life up. I ended up hiring a trainer that year. I got my body really fit. I took a bunch of thirst traps and put them on Instagram. Went swimming a lot because now I live in Vegas and I live in a nice little bougie apartment, which I wanted for so long. And I put that on my vision board years ago, and it did happen. And weirdly enough, when you get specific, sometimes it will spookily just happen. So for example, right here, I have a little payout thing of 10 grand. Well, funny enough, I ended up getting my dream job last year and I negotiated my salary up by 10 grand. So I wasn't consciously thinking about that, but it did end up happening, which I notice is something that happens to a lot of people who create vision boards. So is it worth it? Yes, because it's the creative half of coming up with goal setting for yourself. Okay. Got it. And this is another one, but this one I feel is still baking. I created this at the same time pretty much, but these things I'm still pretty much working on, and that's okay. Okay, we need to allow ourselves to have these things come to us. You know, we need to be patient with ourselves when we're creating and carving out these large paths for ourselves. So I wanted to share with you another way that you can do a vision board that I actually think might be even more useful, and it doesn't require you to go out and buy anything. So this is on Canva, and I created this back in 2018, okay? And I'm really excited for you guys to see this in particular. So I started this off with a quote, and this is something that I really embodied this year. I don't like to gamble, but if there's one thing I'm willing to bet on, it's me. Now, I did not have that mindset when I first wrote this down, but it was something that I was committed to feeling, and I can say now, definitely embody this energy. 2018, my main goal was moving out. I did not achieve that goal. However, look at how well I pictured this out. You drop your bag down. I talk about how I wanted to feel relaxed when I came home. My home was organized and well put together, and I take a nice bath and I feel great. I got very specific about how I wanted to feel. You can pause that for a minute if you want to read it. And funny enough, this is exactly how I feel living in my own place now. I also went into depth about specific, I don't know what happened to the trash can. The trash can disappeared. But funny enough, I ended up getting all of these products except for this vacuum. I still don't have the vacuum. But I didn't get the yoga bed. I had Dream Cloud actually send me a mattress as an influencer on my other channel for free. So that was great. And I still have that mattress and it's amazing. Got this same pillow. Where's that fluffy pillow? And then I really got clear about what I wanted. As you can see, I wrote a lot of different stuff. I got specific about things that I wanted. I ended up getting this for free. This freaking Samsung Galaxy. That's crazy now that I think about it. And then I pretty much got all of these things. Yeah, all of them. That's weird. So as you can see, when I created a book for myself, a small PDF of really exactly what I wanted, scripting it out, although it didn't happen that year, being so specific, crazy things ended up happening, let me tell you. Because look at my room, okay? Like, I wanted to move out so bad that year, and it didn't end up happening, which you know what, I was bummed out by. But funny enough, sometimes life has its own plan for you. I scripted out how I wanted to live on my own and all of this stuff, right? Well, in 2019, I did end up moving out, and I moved in with my boyfriend, and we lived with several other roommates back in San Jose. And I called it the hacker house because I lived with a bunch of smart engineer students, and the house was an interesting little mess. But anyways, I didn't want to live with people. That's not what I put on there. However, now I live on my own. I live in a beautiful apartment. It's better than what I could have vision boarded out at the time. I have a freaking, I have a fireplace in my room, and it's like what Dave Ramsey would say, better than I deserve, you know? And so sometimes you have to allow yourself to not get what you want right away, because there's some other lesson or something beautiful that's going to come in return. And can I just tell you this? I love my house. Look, I love my apartment. I love the bougie pool and the gym and all of this great stuff. My bathroom looks like a spa. It's amazing, okay? That's amazing. But can I just tell you this? I had no idea how much I would enjoy living with a partner. I had no idea. I had no idea how much living with other people was actually so great. And yes, I do love having my own space. I have my own office. My whole living room is my own office. It's beautiful. I love it so much. But can I just tell you, if I didn't have that perspective of living with my boyfriend at the time and kind of seeing how beautiful that is, I wouldn't have perspective that I have now. Now I live alone, and you know, me and my little bunny Echo and I, you know, we hang out. But girl, like, sometimes you can vision board something out all you want, thinking that's exactly what you want, right? And then life will show you a different way to give you perspective. And now that I'm wanting to go into a different quadrant of my life where I am, you know, married and have children and everything like that, I can see how much I would enjoy that aspect of my life, because I miss having a partner that I live with. I miss those good morning kisses. I miss all of that. I even miss having roommates that I got to complain about, not gonna lie. The person upstairs has something else in store for you. So that's actually a beautiful thing. It's not always bad. So the third thing we've already pretty much discussed. I want you to get very specific and picture what that looks like, what that goal that you want is going to end up as. Even if it doesn't end up happening this year, you probably will get it. It might not be what you ultimately wanted, like me, you know, living on my own, but maybe life will give you a new perspective so that you can appreciate things when you do get them. Be willing to face the challenges that come in that are unexpected, because you will have those things come up. And if, for example, I was very rattled because when I first moved here to Vegas, I did have a roommate, and that situation quickly fell apart and I ended up having to get my own place, which brought me here. That was complete chaos though, okay? That was very, very stressful. I lost a lot of hair, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. So what I'm saying is the challenge that comes across in your life that you might feel is derailing your goal might actually be bringing you closer to it in a very strange way. I thought I wasn't gonna have a place to stay. I was really freaked out, but then I ended up having this, but then somehow I ended up getting this place. Do you know what I mean? So although something might seem like it's the end of the world, life has a weird way of putting things together even when you don't see it. So be willing to embrace the unpredictableness of life. And also, while we're on this idea of really scoping out what we want, it's important to think of your life in eras. In 2018, what you just saw, I feel that that was me gearing up for adulthood, right? And so that was not an easy thing for me, even though I was later into my 20s, okay? I slipped on so many banana peels in this past year, in these past several years, and who hasn't? It's okay. It is okay, guys. So be willing to embrace those. And when things don't happen on your timeline like you planned out, that doesn't mean they're not gonna happen. Sometimes it means something even better is gonna happen, or life is gonna give you a different perspective so you can appreciate things even more. And lastly, I know this is going to sound really harsh, but I found this to be very true. Don't give up on your goals. Give up on people that don't fit the mold of your goals. Now, I know that sounds like a very crucial thing that some psychotic vampire would tell you, and that's not the angle that I'm trying to come at it with. What I'm saying is that you can want somebody to be your Prince Charming, or to be a great family member, you know what I'm saying? And you might just not find those qualities in the specific person that you're hoping to have them in. Whether that's friendship, whether that's work, trying to take a glass slipper and shove it on the ugly stepsister is no way to go, okay? So this is a great example, okay? You find a guy and everything, and you like him, you click, and you think, oh my gosh, this is the one, this is the person I'm gonna marry, but they're not ready to settle down, and they wanna go play the field, and you know, disrespect you, not respond to you, all of that garbage. That's not the right fit. Give up on that person. Let that dream die, but don't let the dream die of being in a healthy relationship. Don't let the idea of never having a friendship happen again, or having a good boss or work situation. Let those people go so that you can find the right fit that actually matches your goals. So I strongly believe that. I strongly stand by that. I've let go so many people. I don't really associate with pretty much anybody that I used to hang out with. But if they don't want to play nice, goodbye. I don't want to deal with you at all. Especially if you're trying to hold me back from being the person that I want to become. You are gone. You're just... What's that Dust in the Wind song? Gotta cue that. So now that we've gotten that creative aspect down, let's start nailing some bolts down. if you want to achieve things this year, I want you to automate things. I want you to be very practical. I'm a very creative person, and I'm also a very up and down, moody person. My hormones fluctuate. I could be very, very happy. I could be very, very sad. And you guys see this on my channel as well, because I'm very open with you guys, right? If you want to get something done when you are a roller coaster, you need to be taking advantage of those highs. BJ Fogg talks about that. It's there's a motivational wave that goes on, and you're gonna want to really hone in when you're having that sort of rise right now. If you're watching this video, you're probably on a motivational wave. Just take advantage of this time to make it easier when you start going through the slump period. So for me, I already know every month I'm gonna have at least a week and a half, 2 weeks of a slump period where I'm not gonna feel like doing much of anything, and I'm gonna want to take a boot and throw it at my wall and break a window and find whoever broke into my house and stole from me and choke them to death, okay? I'm gonna feel that every month. And also personally slap every single moron that detracted from my life. Anyways, so with that in mind, you're gonna want to really capitalize on the times that are shining bright and your mind is working great and you're happy, right? For example, in my own life, I planned out, I knew that I wanted to post on LinkedIn every single Friday. So what I did was I went through Publer and I already came up with every single post that I wanted to create for the entire year. I don't have to think about it. I could literally die and I'd still have things going up on LinkedIn. So if I could physically not even be on this planet and things will still happen, that is great, okay? So think about ways that you can make stuff happen, whether that's you're saving for a big trip or something like that. Have some money that's just automatically taken out of your checking account, for example. Do something like that where you don't even have to think. It doesn't require any extra energy from you. You could literally disappear off the face of Earth because you got abducted by aliens and things will still work. That is what automating and making things machine-like will do for you. It's great, okay? As much as I love this vision board crap, okay, nothing can beat automation. Just ask AI. Next, I want you to think about your goals on a quarterly system. This is what companies do. They look at their whole year and they go off of quarters, because trying to get everything done in a week, a month, or God forbid a day is gluttony punishment, okay? It is the worst thing that you can do for yourself. You need to take a larger view, looking at everything that you want to accomplish. Like I said, it's better to have a 2-year time frame that you want things to happen. And I want you to really think about, okay, what can I do in Q1, which is going to be from January to, I think, March. So think about a goal that you have that you can really start to make traction on during that time. For example, if you have a business, maybe creating a product or course within that quadrant, so that you're not, doing this woo-woo crap and then wondering why nothing happened by the end of the year. Last but not least, I feel like I'm gonna get flack for this, but if you give me flack, I will throw the seeds right back at you. If you have the extra money to hire somebody, I want you to hire somebody to keep you on track. It is very hard to go about doing all of your goals all on your own if you don't have some other motivation behind you, because you're gonna fall short, you're gonna get frustrated. But if you have a system ready, like I was saying, if you have something that's automated for you, it's gonna help you. Let me give you an example, okay? I suck at cooking, okay? I'm horrible at it, okay? I try and I will, pretend when I have people over and act like I can cook, but it's really not my skill set. I am an abomination. One of the things that I've really tried to commit myself to is eating healthy and really getting the nutrients in my diet so that I'm in a better mood most of the time. Well, what do you think happens when I'm upset and sad and I have a whole bunch of work to do? Ding, 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 ding. I'm gonna call up freaking Domino's, or I'm gonna call up Pizza Hut, because you know what? I have no time and no energy to think about what's in my fridge and how I'm gonna make myself food, okay? I don't wanna think about that at all. So I'll just end up calling fast food. Is that good? No. So how did I fix that? How did I go about that change? Well, I decided, you know what? I'm already spending an arm and a leg on groceries that sometimes they don't even last on my fridge, and it just, the whole thing makes me angry. I don't even want to have to cook it, okay? I'm busy with work. I'm doing a million other things as well. How about if I hire a delivery service? Genius. Comes every week now, and you know what? I was spending so much on groceries. The cost of this is pretty much the same. I really don't care. You know what? I shouldn't be drinking a bunch of soda anyways. Finding a way to have a problem solved for you is going to be really great. My fitness, that was something that I had, you know, where is it? Over fitness. Okay, here, you know, on my, you know, very vain board, I ended up hiring a personal trainer to really keep me on track, and this was back when I first moved to Vegas. Really great experience, because although I might have had resistance of, you know, falling behind or falling short, I'd still see him every week and I would keep up with my goals. So if you can find some way to stay accountable, even if you're not paying for it, although I would recommend if you can pay for it, it's worth it, because you're also helping that person go after their own dreams. For example, you know, me paying that trainer, that's helping that trainer in his business. If I'm able to help power other people's small businesses, that makes me feel good. So like, if people have money to go blow on, I don't know, like bags or whatever people buy these days, which isn't bad within itself, I'm just saying it might be worth it to hire somebody to help you stay on track with things that you're working towards as well, or to just help you complete your goals, or something that you're not happy with. Maybe, you know, I'm kind of a neat freak, even though my house right now is kind of whatever, but if I wasn't, you know what, that'd be the first thing I'd hire, is somebody to come in and help me organize and clean. Really, and that was one of my first jobs, is helping somebody clean their house and organize things, and it was a really great experience for me, because you know what, I got paid and I was in a really nice place. The last final closing thoughts that I will say: when you actually do accomplish a goal, you need to give yourself some applause. And unfortunately, you are going to have some douchey people around you that aren't going to want to give that to you. You'll start to see really quickly who your friends are and aren't when good things start happening in your life. Now, when things aren't so great in your life, you'll have people ditch out on you too. But let me just say, when things start to go well in your life and you have boundaries where you're not just, I don't know, over giving to other people, you will see people's true colors. Let me just say, they will be so butthurt when things start going good for you, which is a horrible thing to say, but it's just the truth. So be prepared for that. Anyways, going back, give yourself props for accomplishing something. For example, one of the goals that I had, I believe it was 2020, I had like a list of things that I was going after, and I had it in the background. When I hired my trainer, I took these before and after type of pictures, and they're in the background, and I said something about hot bod, I don't know, like all the stuff that I wanted to do before I became a mom. And one of the things that I wanted is I wanted to be published in magazines, so that did end up happening. As you can see, this is, you know, looks like the intro, because it is the images from the intro, and then I did this one as well. I mean, this is pretty cool stuff, you know. So we can have different mindsets when we accomplish things, okay? See this, like, this should be exciting, right? However, if I'm in a negative mindset that's beating up on myself and not seeing things in a very positive way, as I could say, oh, well, this is just a local magazine, it doesn't matter, like, meh. And that type of energy, if there's any way to just block any blessing, it's just to be not excited and not grateful for things that you did achieve. So you will even have other people that try to get in your head, that will say stuff like that to try to deflate things that you've worked hard to do, but you really can't let that get inside of your mind, because it will start to derail you. I'll give you an example. So I did get my dream job this, well, the year's over, but last year, right? And one of the people that I actually thought was really close to me, one of the first things that came out of their mouth when I was talking about my new job and everything, which I didn't go into too much depth about, but I was excited about it, is they asked me if I gained weight. Let that sink in. Because I work remotely, they asked me if I gained weight. They asked me a bunch of other dumb things too, like, oh, are you lonelier now because you don't leave your house? And I'm just thinking, okay, I got my dream job. I wanted this so bad. I was struggling for so long, and now I have this dream job that allows me to live the life that I want, and that's what you have to say for me. So people will try to weasel their way in your head, and like I said, just replace them, like get them out of your life, because yuck, gross. I'm here to cheerlead people, and even people that I cut out of my life, I don't wish them wrong or anything. I think anybody should be inspired to go after the things that they want, but I'm not going to tolerate anybody in my life that tries to belittle the things that I've worked hard to achieve or the things that I'm currently working on to achieve. So yeah, there's that, sis. Is there anything else? Just be prepared, because things in life are not, you know, cheesecake cut out easy, okay? It's very much going to be its own little roller coaster. And this new era that you're wanting to move into, which is a great thing. Think about things in a cluster of goals that you want to achieve. Like my new cluster is family life, settling down with a family and everything, while at the same time still working on my career and being, you know, being chief marketing officer status, right? So with that being said, your new life that you're working towards has its own new challenges. So don't expect this new era that you're going to go into to be a walk in the park, and you're never going to have a freaking thorn in the side. You're never going to have a splinter going on, because with the new thing that you get, you're going to be facing a whole new set of problems and challenges. That's the way life is. It doesn't mean you got freaking bamboozled or jinxed. So for example, now that I live on my own, I wanted this so bad for so long. It comes with its own problems, right? You know, like I almost freaking, there's several times where I almost missed my freaking rent payment, okay? So it's its own stress. Like I live in a nice apartment, but it comes with its own challenges, and it stretches you. All right, I know that when I go into this new era where I finally get to wake up next to somebody that I love, and I have a baby and everything, even pregnancy is going to have a whole bunch of different challenges, and it's not going to be this easy, beautiful, picturesque thing. As much as we want to see the vision board vision, we will get aspects of that where we feel joy, we feel happiness, but it doesn't mean that we're never going to experience a problem in our life again. It's just, let's just be real, okay? So yeah, I'm sure it's going to be fun waking up to a baby. Not really, but I can't wait to look my child in their eyes and teach them everything that I know. So again, we celebrate the wins. We know there's going to be challenges, but it's worth it, and it's much more beautiful to really map out and think intentionally about what you're trying to go for in life, because that means that you did everything that you could to really set out and go after what you wanted. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you guys here for next week for another one. I love you so much. Take care. Bye.